Hello everyone, just a few minutes ago Amazon Games posted our Lost Ark January update. This is a huge one, something that defines our version in the West, and judging by your tweets asking me for a guide on how you will not be left behind.
This guy's a bona fide 100% actual Lost Ark Andy. He's been streaming Lost Ark or making videos about Lost Ark literally for years, okay? So if anybody's going to know what's going on, he's going to know what's going on.
Tier 3 content, then there's some pretty spicy info in this one. So we're going to skip the intro, we're just going to get into the meat of things, and we're going to analyze and discuss every single thing that has changed compared to our closed beta version, for example. Yorn region and other regions as well, which automatically implies that we're getting tier 3 content straight with day one for our release. This is something never before seen in any other region. Everyone started with tier 1 and then slowly progressed through that to tier 2 and then tier 3. Patch 3.0, for example.
See, like in my opinion, of somebody who's never, well, I played the game, but like not really, I would think it would be a better idea to release tier 1 and then release tier 2 and tier 3 like next month and the month after. Logically, that's what would make sense to me, but I don't know, maybe that wouldn't work.
The newest patch currently available in Lost Ark. This is a big patch, right? And there's nothing in development after it. So as you can imagine, it's going to be split, and it has been split in various smaller patches, and each of these smaller patches that are all part of tier 3 or patch 3.0 comes with their own increase in gear score, and that happens as the majority catches up to what is already the maximum. So we in the West start with an early version of this patch 3.0, and then once the majority has caught up to our day one release end game, in terms of item level, then we're probably going to have an increase in item level that comes with more content, and
that's what I would have expected.
More possibilities in Lost Ark. The combat level cap has been increased to 60, which is nice. This is a very long-term goal. For those of you who are new,
not sure what this means.
Level cap in Lost Ark is 50. These extra 10 levels will give you more skill points and also unlock the ability for you to upgrade your current skills past their cap, which gives them around 10% increase in damage overall. So it's a very nice thing, obviously, but
a 10% increase in damage is like really, really big, because I'm assuming, like, for anybody who's like a Lost Ark Andy, my understanding is that like there is a capstone difficulty that's equivalent to like Final Fantasy Ultimate raids where you're gear locked. So your combat level probably affects you even in those situations where you're gear locked. Yeah, hell mode. Is that it? Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. So this is a very important thing to have. 60 takes a long time. Yeah, 60 hell mode's normalized. I don't know how normalized it is, but I would be assuming that your combat level would probably not be normalized, but I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Again, like I haven't never done it.
It takes months to get from
combat level is
okay to 60. It requires you to just play the game, right?
Yeah.
Additional tier 3 content will be added to the game post-launch in order to set the pace for player progression. I really hope that the pace is good. I really hope that they thought about this, because this right now is the most crucial and important thing. It needs to be slow enough for the majority and for the free-to-play players especially to feel happy and rewarded, and to feel that they have been included in the next big release, which is a raid boss called Argos, right? So they need to reach that item level before they drop this, both in terms of new content and optimal difficulty.
Okay.
Steam achievements, 173 Steam achievements will be available in the game at launch. Character voice selection. Character creation now includes an option to select a voice for your character. Each class
Argos, is Argos a dog? I'm assuming Argos is a dog, or Argus is a dog. Yes, of course it is. Argus is the name of Odysseus's dog in the Odyssey. Ironically, it's also what the name. That's why I said that Azaro was modeled after Odysseus, because Argus is, of course, also in Path of Exile.
4 options to choose from. Korean voiceover DLC options. Players will be able to select the option to use the original Korean voiceovers in-game along with the subtitles of their choice. This will be obtainable in a free Steam DLC pack at launch. Korean subtitles will not be available. My summoner will sound so great with the Korean voiceovers for the skills, assuming this is what they're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
right? Skills said in Korean, your character. This is such a cool
Someone said Argus and WoW is dog too. Yo, bro, true. Holy fuck, man. God damn. Oh, fuck.
thing that so many players wanted. Some early game cutscenes are now skippable.
In my opinion, I wish they didn't do that. Like, I actually do. I wish that you had to sit through the cutscene at the very beginning. Like, yeah, you got it. It's only some. Yeah. Fuck
Thank
that.
God for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm probably being an
Bless you,
asshole.
whoever took this decision. Balance tweaks for pacing the game. Another huge point of feedback that we received during the closed beta was that many players felt like some of the game's pacing and gearing was not quite challenging enough. No, that was when tier 1 was the end game, not when tier 3 is the end game. When tier 3 is the end game, let's get,
Then talk about the pacing, yeah. The thing is also with like beta, this is something that I hope the development team understands, is that every single person that's playing the beta test for Lost Ark it's like if you take a sample size of that is not an accurate sample size of the player base, because these people are way more hardcore. Yeah, these are power users. These are nerds. They're losers. They're so powerful. It's not a normal person.
At a decent pace past tier 1 and 2. I hope they didn't get it wrong. Okay, so where is it?
Yeah, I hope they
We've
stopped it.
worked to
wrong
make
either. Yeah.
balance changes to
It's really important.
combat this. And while it won't slow you down early on, okay, they didn't get it wrong. It's good. We don't want to be slowed down early on when we have tier 3. The endgame content will prove to be a bit more challenging for players. Yes.
I think also like this probably would have been a better thing if they had released the other shit, because what they have to bank on now is that the way that they balanced it is good. Because if they only did tier 1, then they could make adjustments to tier 2. And then after tier 2, they could make adjustments to tier 3 based off of what happened in tier 2 and tier 1. But right now, they're going all in. So you better fucking hope that this pacing is the right way to do it. Because now you don't have that chance for iterative development.
Tier 3 is in general more challenging.
That's a good example of like what WoW does with the raid. Is like WoW has players effectively beta test normal and heroic before Mythic even comes out. There's a lot of examples of this. The same with Mythic Dungeons at the beginning of the expansion. You can't even do the hard shit. Yeah, you can't even do it. Like, you just do the semi-easy stuff, and then they base it off of that. The thing is, Korea already tested it for us. The way that Koreans play games is probably not the way that Americans play games in a number of different ways. I think that's a really good insight, and I think that's a good point. Very good point. But I also think that Koreans, it's more grindy over there. Like, there's a reason why they fucking call the MMOs like the Korean grind fest, okay? They have way more grindy games. Pay to win is not seen as bad over there as much, and it's a different culture around gaming. So I don't know if you can one-to-one the way that Korean players consume content over to Western players consuming content. Russia tested it too? Good point. We'll have to see what happens. But you see what I'm saying, though, right? Is because, like, if you only have, like, you remove your ability to make changes dynamically whenever you do this.
Nothing special here. It should be like that because it's the last patch with nothing currently even in development to follow it. So because of this, enchantment rates for gear are low. Progressing through item levels is not as fast as tier 1 and 2. So this is all normal. It's fine. It's an MMO, it's a grind, it's something to do on a daily basis, etc. Community FAQ, character customization questions. What are the character, stronghold, and guild naming restrictions? The following are...
I want to name my character Assfucker. Can I do that?
Anything really important here. Be sure to open your Northern Lawmaker or Platinum skin chest with the character you want to use it on.
Okay.
As the skin will be
I
set
sure hope
to
they let me
match
do that
the
name,
character's
man.
Class.
That's the one I'm going for.
These skins will only be usable on the 15 classes that are available at launch. And you also get just one of them. So if you buy a Platinum, you get a Northern Lawmaker and the Platinum skin. If you buy a Gold, you just get a Northern Lawmaker, one of them. Misc gameplay questions. What happens if your guild leader doesn't log in for weeks? Okay, come on.
I think that's a little bit short, like 10 days. I think that WoW's number, like a month or 2 months, is more reasonable for having a usurping system. It's my opinion.
Just leave that. Just leave that guild. Looking ahead, they mentioned they will have a exact time when the servers will open and a pre-download time as well in an article before release. So
they have already released that information. So if you go to the Lost Ark Twitter, you can find all of the pre-download and the play times that the game is going to be available for people with the Founders Pack and also like the full release of the game. They've already made that available.
In between now, 27th and the 8th of February. Before launch, they are also going to give us full patch notes, some information about what makes this version of the game different from other versions, more details about Lost Ark's business model and monetization. There will also be a roadmap to share our post-launch plans headed your way once the game is in your hands. So this roadmap will come after the release. And this was everything. Very exciting stuff. I know that many of you are already panicking after seeing this decision. I saw it on my Discord, saw it on my Twitter.
A lot of people
so I'd
were
like to
upset
take a
about
couple
this.
of minutes and share with you my thoughts on Tier 3 straight from day one. The version of Tier 3 we're getting is a very early stage of Tier 3. So that means there's not a lot of gear score to progress through even after
it's at
you
least
get
something,
to start Tier 3 in our region. And there are also systems already in game to help players get past Tier 1 and Tier 2 at a nice, steady, fast, rewarding pace so that we could all be as soon as possible in Tier 3 without any huge gaps that would give a bunch of people extreme advantages for a very long time.
Yeah, you want to have people be able to hold on to their stuff and have good stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Like, that's a big factor. I know some people, I wanted to make I saw like a couple of comments. Sometimes we have this happen where somebody will make a comment about the person's appearance or something like that. I think most of the time people are goofing around and it's all funny, right? It's just, oh, he's been playing video games all day, whatever, like, that's fine. But, like, I just want to make a comment that a lot of the people that, if I click on their profile picture, who are making comments about other people's appearances on the internet, it's a picture of an anime character. It's a picture of an anime character. So, and it's a girl, too. Let's go ahead and settle down with that.
And because of that, I'm pretty confident that this is actually going to work out. It has to work out because they obviously thought about it a lot before doing it. The beauty of a fresh release is that no matter how much real money you have or how experienced you already are with the game, we are all new players there using in-game means to farm the materials, enchant our gear, grow our characters to whatever end game we get. In our case, Tier 3. Nobody's going to sell these materials so that someone with real money could have the chance to buy them from the auction house. The auction house is going to be empty because we're going to use these materials for ourselves. And when we're done, then we start selling for people who join us later, for alts. And at that point,
what makes sense.
It doesn't bother you that someone catches up to close to where you are because they buy your mats, right? So because of these reasons, I believe you shouldn't worry about real money. Also, all of this, knowing what to do as a new player, knowing as much as a veteran player, is nothing that cannot be solved by watching a couple of guides. I'm gonna have guides here on my YouTube channel teaching you all the important things that you need to keep in mind at end game, how to be fast about it, where to farm, etc. So all you need to do is basically watch them, and at that point you're equal
a lot
to
of people have made
else,
videos
because of this fresh release.
Yeah.
Of course, getting to Tier 3 content sooner rather than later is now important because gold gain from Tier 3 content is significantly higher than it is from Tier 1 and 2. So
I don't think that there's any reason that people want to get to Tier 3 other than the fact that it's the highest thing. Like, that's it. People are just going to want to do it because that's the hardest part of the game. Like, it's the same as people that would do really anything in a brand new game. Like, they want to beat the hardest part of the game for their internet dick to be just a little bit longer. I'm one of them.
Is a little bit of sense of urgency there to reach, to start farming tier 3 things. Having that said, the most important and crucial thing here is the pacing of future gear score increases, and that means future updates.
Yeah.
If Amazon Games leaves enough time for the free-to-play player or the active player to progress through the tier 3 version that we're getting and be ready gear score wise for the next update, then this idea is just a genius idea to start with tier 3.
I'm worried that they'll wait too long if you wait for free-to-play players, because a lot of those people, like a lot of those updates, by the time that gets released for like a free-to-play player and somebody who's like super casual, almost all of the hardcore players will be super bored. So I don't know if that's like the right call. I always thought that like the way Burning Crusade got released originally was good, where like tier 6 got released before people even finished tier 5. And it didn't affect anybody else. Like, they didn't sit around waiting for enough people to finish tier 5 to release it. They just put it out there, and then whenever people get to it, they get to it. So I don't think that they should wait that long, but they should wait a while, because every single one of these, the thing is, like, these are like resources. Think of them as like a fucking, like an injection that just brings the game back to life to a certain degree. You only have so many of those because there are only so many content patches that have occurred that have already been developed in the game. So what does that mean? That means that you want to space those out and really make sure that whenever you use them, you hit and you actually really get people to come back. Like, that's the mistake that New World made. That's the problem that New World has right now, is that there's a lot of people who didn't come back for the content patch. Probably because it took too long.
Because it gives a lot of content on top of the side content that new players have to discover in Lost Ark, such as the skill points, the runes, the islands, the crafting, the leveling up your housing plot, etc. There's a lot of stuff to do for a new player in a fresh release of Lost Ark, right? On top of that, we're also going to have a lot of actual content, dungeons and raids to go through, gear as well. And that's fantastic if they leave us enough time to go through this at a normal new player pace.
Right.
I wish you lots of love. I thank you for watching. And I guess I will see you in just a few hours from now, because I had a video planned for today. And until then, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you really soon.
It's a good video. I like the guy. I'm going to link it for you guys so you can go ahead and give him a sub and follow his stream. His name's Sywo. As I said before, this guy is a genuine, bona fide, multi-year Lost Ark Andy. If you like Lost Ark, I would absolutely recommend following his channel, subscribing to his channel. I'm sure, does he stream? He streams on YouTube. So there you go. You can follow him on YouTube for all of that stuff. He seems very passionate about it. I think it's evident to anybody who watched the video. And, I look forward to watching more of his videos. That's basically where we're at. This channel grows a lot whenever it's released in the West. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Sywo was at 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If Lost Ark has real staying power, like the Korean regions and the Russian regions lead us to believe. Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, definitely. There it is. It was good for Aeon too. Yeah, there you go.